Let's make progress.
He said Dula Goto.
Dula Goto. That means let's go forward.
To something else.
Yeah,
let's
go
go
another question.
To another question. Thank you. But I will still stick with these tortures. You told the commission that those were not the 7 people we mentioned were not the only people you tortured.
There are some among them whom I have accepted that I tortured them, but there are others that I said no, I didn't torture them.
Who did you say you did not torture? I said that about Jibril Waka. Jibril Waka even accused you of gender-based violence.
Jibril Waka kan kusa otumirima tumewana da wanda kubera kon gender-based violence.
He said you stripped him naked, you beat him, and then you forced him to play with his genitals.
Wo aborti mo hawo labi no jibinira no hida fudu da fijur gol tuba makoma hida fijiramba.
Yesterday, after you mentioned this, I said no, that's not true.
Are you embarrassed by the sexual nature of the allegation? Of the type of torture you are accused of? Are you embarrassed by that?
Mindum hersina kamdi because two me gol he tawtare gol wana gotum so mi tawtare aka te mona dum gonga.
It's not part of that. I am ashamed of it. No, but what he has alleged against me is not true.
Waka was arrested and taken to the NIA. Isn't that true?
Jibril Waka onanga noma onabaka NIA ka hogomundo ndabo wona gonga.
Hangisa miwadum find out when I in the woneri neto bondo munganta ma hombre gini wa go connection homu wuja
just answer the question. This is a yes or no.
Yesterday I was able to get information to know how he was arrested. This is what I want to make clear here.
No, the question,
if you don't allow me to do that, it's no problem. We can proceed as you wish.
The question is, was he arrested?
Yes.
And taken?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Did you come into contact with him?
No.
No.
Sorry for not waiting for the interpreter.
I'm sorry for not waiting for the interpreter, but no. No.
Did you hand him over to Sukuta Jame?
No.
You see?
No.
You see, Mr. Witness.
This is why I want to explain, and you don't want me to explain.
Just hear me out. You would have your chance.
Okay. If I had explained, you wouldn't have to ask that question.
Just
maybe. Sorry.
This is not the NIA interview.
Sorry.
No, it's not the NIA interview. This is the TRRC interview.
This is very easy, isn't it? You can laugh and smile. Yes, you can drink water. You can have tea. Huh?
No, definitely. No respect.
Yes, sorry for that. But I have respect for everybody who is sitting here.
It's normal.
Can you tell us? Did you have anything to do with Jibril Waka's arrest?
Jibril Waka ko nangugol makungol jungomano heng.
Wom ko wadi taki fere ha wadi. Indirectly.
Something happened which caused his arrest. Indirectly, I can say I'm involved indirectly.
And how are you indirectly involved?
The tawa Jibril Waka waktu fof waktu homo woni hede bade bande na wala reconnect yimbe sibe tajama o yaha o depta fuse o wala be reconnect gombo jogi fuse ji horama ko te ko fuse ji nawek.
Yeah, okay. Jibril Waka is somebody who used to go around and he has his own fuses which belong to Nawek. But if somebody is disconnected, he will come and reconnect those people using the type of fuse he has, and those fuses belong to Nawek. This is the type of job he was doing. That's one.
Mr. Witness, we are not here.
No, I just filed these things and then made it into a form of a report, and that report went to the headquarters. It resulted into an action which I was not even aware. That's what led to his arrest.
Okay.
So I need to explain that for people to know. I'm sorry.
Can you calm down?
No,
this is the 5th time you are apologizing.
Yeah, could you because comido itu ko woni ko en der am pour ngandon dum kono na moptu gol gay hunde ko dum tan takki mi doni halera.
The reason why I'm talking like this, I want to lay bare everything that I know about this topic. This is why I'm speaking like this. I want to reveal everything.
No, Mr. Witness, you're speaking like this because you are only interested in placating other people for doing wrong and portraying yourself as the person who would do right. No. That is what you're doing. You are so quick to say, oh, this one is a bandit, this one is Sasai. You want to portray everybody else in bad light except yourself. That's what you're trying to do. When I don't worry, mean me to Holira Kowadiko. So Kowadiko me to Mandi. By the community to Andy. So Kowadiko Mihalta, when I know Kalitani.
No, I know what happened. This is what I want to reveal. But the way how you are portraying it is not the way how things happen.
Mr. Witness, yes, in Nawek there were a lot of corrupt people. You agree with that?
Yes.
Both Nawek staff members were corrupt. Equally, the NIA officers who were there were also corrupt. And we don't want to get into that because that is not our mandate. And if don't challenge me, don't push me to that corner to show that the NIA officers who were there were also corrupt. And don't push us there. And we don't want to go there. We are not investigating corrupt practices at NAWEC. But if you challenge us, if you push us there, we would show that the NIA officers who were there were equally corrupt. So don't test us, don't push us there. Let's focus on the main issue before the commission. That is the human rights violation. No matter what wrong the person has committed, the person has rights. You are here, you have accepted that you have committed some crime. Nobody has taken you to the corner to beat you. Because you have rights. Equally, those victims of yours, no matter what they did, they have rights. And they deserve to be treated according to law. Do you agree with that? Yes or no? Just cut the too much talk and answer the question.
That's what I'm confirming. Yes, yes, I agree. What I'm just saying is that everybody has a right.
No matter what.
When you arrested, when Farmer Naso was arrested from his house at Latirkunda Sabiji, and brought to you at Nawek in cooperative. You did not give him his rights, did you? You subjected him to monkey dance until he collapsed. That was unlawful. You agree?
Mi jabi o warama ton kono warani collapse no bidani how dumanini o horti o leli.
I agree that something happened to him there, but he didn't collapse.
Yes, but did you have a right to monkey dance him?
Monkey dance.
No.
But you did it.
Yes, that's what I said, yes.
You tortured him.
Yes.
You knew he had rights.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
You chose to just ignore those rights.
Yes, that's true.
And you treated him in whatever manner you wanted.
Yes.
And there is also
Ibu
John.
Ibu John.
Ibukan, rather.
Ibukan,
Ibukan, go ahead.
Yes,
Ibukan.
You tortured him.
No, that's not true.
Maybe you want to hear Ibukan himself say how you tortured him.
You know why? Kafala nande Ibukan tigiri o pur o hala ko honda takita ma ko
I'm here, I can say what happened.
Yes, tell us what happened.
Joni hala yimbe ko honum feji hakkunde ma Ibukan.
Now I know libotono office amen on ko dumani hono wite bo mbo jogi no fake coupons.
There was somebody working at our office who had fake coupons.
What's the name of the person?
Pasanyang.
Pasanyang.
Okay, just a moment. So Pasanyang was dealing fraudulently. Fake coupons. Okay, proceed.
At that time, Muniru was the Director General.
Johnny din fek couponaji ayat o mindaton 1000 dum windeten on tuma so nabito petrol station to ta ko on woni don.
Okay, just a moment.
And those fake coupons, sometimes he will write $1,000 and on those coupons, and they'll take it to the petrol station.
Proceed.
So nabidum don be mbata dum kalis be pecha mabe didobe.
And when he goes to the petrol station, they'll give him cash, and the two of them will share that money. Sometimes he will take it in the form of fuel, which he will put in his vehicle.
National food security, something like that.
If I can remember, something like national food, something was written on those coupons.
Then Muniri investigate.
Then Muniri said that it should be investigated.
So Pasanyang no dimbo o ariton because humban yo order horamako no vite ibu.
And they said they called Pasanyang to come, and he knew the other guy called Ibu.
Then Ibu kodumani kopendal ko min kodum do mi andi hen.
This is what I know about it, and at the time when they came.
Mr. Cham.
Yes. Mr. Cham.
You see,
Aye.
You are sugarcoating it. It's not like that.
Ibukan.
He caught Pasanyang with these fake coupons, and he reported it. The NIA did not know. There had to be a whistleblower. It was who reported the matter to the NIA. He caught Pasanyang and took it to the NIA. That is what happened.
No,
what I knew about it is different from that.
The NIA intended to protect Pasanyang, so they went after Ibu. Pasanyang, do you agree that Pasanyang committed a crime? Do you agree with that? What should have been the punishment for Pasanyang for committing that fraud against the state? What should have been the punishment?
Punishment no nawai wande dum nawai tak fere o wasa place mako.
It can be that he will be dismissed from his place.
No, it's not. It can be. It's not. It can be. The rules are that if you commit a fraud against the state, you should be prosecuted and punished by either fine or imprisonment or both. That is the law, and you know it.
wi luwa ko wi ko ya nyaawe si sa nyaawa ma kadi ko ya wasi palasi ma ko dum luwa on haali.
Is that not true?
Ma ya kaso ndawna do woni gonga
ko gonga kono randi dum na min foti dum decide.
But that decision doesn't lie with me.
Could you just answer the question? I did not ask.
Decision to make it.
I said yes, but I don't have that decision.
Mr. Cham,
I said yes.
Could you just answer the question and refrain from going on to other things that you have not been asked?
I did
not ask you whether you had responsibility for deciding that. So answer the questions and just be disciplined. Answer my questions when it requires a yes or no answer. Answer yes or no. Otherwise, we would spend the whole day here and we would not make progress.
You allow me to also to talk, counsel.
Mr. Cham.
Need to, sometimes there is need when I say yes, at least to put a word or so. Yes. Or when I say no, at least also I have that right, I think, Chairman.
Mr. Cham.
Before
Mr. Cham, if you need to explain something, tell me that you need to explain something, and I would yield the floor.
Now we'll go by that.
All right. Okay. You agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
You agree with me that the rules required that Mr. Sanyang be investigated and brought to book?
Yes.
You agree with me that the evidence was overwhelming that this guy was defrauding the state?
Yes.
You agree with me that that overwhelming evidence required that he'd be taken to justice?
Yes. That's true.
Where is Mr. Bojang today?
Mr. Bojang Hande.
Mr. Bojang.
Pa Bojang, where is he today?
Bojang.
Who is Pa Bojang?
Pa Sanyang, sorry.
Pa Sanyang.
Pa Sanyang and the Oriwanoma.
Pa Sanyang, as I know, he was dismissed.
But before this, joining Humble Police.
If I can remember properly, he is now working in the police. And before he came to our office, he was working at the immigration department.
Where is Pa Sanyang today? Where does he work?
Then we went into Andu in 2019, December.
In December 2019, as I can remember, he was a policeman.
Police station over there.
In fact, he was posted at the Kuntauru police station.
In fact, he is now a senior police officer.
If I can remember properly, his rank, the time I can remember, he was an inspector.
Do you think that that is right under the laws of this country?
That's not correct.
And it happened because Pa Sanyang was protected. Is that not the case? Is that not the case? Yes or no?
We want to join Humble Police.
That's what happened. That's what happened. That's up to now. He's a police, but
the question is, this could only have happened because Pa Sanyang was protected.
He is being a police officer now, and the rank of inspector can only have happened because he is protected. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
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 Precisely. Just hear me out.
Okay, can you allow me here to explain?
Yes, go ahead.
So na dum den sitaino joni rewanoma lawol like hay sitaino dum don takino fere ha o riwa te mi fogi he on isu takano fere ha o riwa simi yejitani de sitay o riwa ma dum hade makko okke golle dula goddo taw na fonno chege Because high immigration had the office amen jeptumbo. Na phone no check ko taki fake how immigration.
Well, what happened? Okay,
background information of the individual.
What happened was, even when he was working at the immigration before he came to our office, before he was employed at our office, he should have been investigated. Then after his employment with us, after this incident happened, when he was dismissed, and when the police were taking him, they should also have investigated him, but that didn't happen. That's what I wanted to say.
Background information.
That's what should have happened.
When
people checked on his background before appointing him.
When people apply to go to the police, don't they, as a matter of routine, go to the NIA for background checks?
Gambia Armed Forces ontuma dum wono wadde because kono non after dum don mi andana ko dum don na kono nanon fonno wondirde kono fonno wondirde.
If I can remember,
security service normally la foti chege.
As I can remember, it was the Gambia National Army, but
Gambia Armed Forces.
Gambia Armed Forces. But apart from that, the thing that should have happened was, before employing anybody, his background information should have been checked.
You see, Mr. Cham, the system was the NIA protected its personnel. No, brutalized others.
No, after a while or no. NIA ben ligoro e mabem be danda e nobe be jetta wobbe ben be na
and you have to listen to the question. You were the person selected to come and deal with Ibukan, and you brutalized him.
That is not true.
Well, you were based in Nawek, weren't you?
One time.
Yes, at that time.
Yes. What were you doing?
When Munir was DG, I was not at the Nawek.
Where were you based?
Either at the post office or at Numanin. I cannot remember exactly.
If you were at post office, what were you doing at headquarters?
Well, whether I was in Numanin on the economic. I cannot remember the exact Numanin.
Maybe it could be that I was at the economic. I can remember this one. It was in the evening.
So you can remember this incident?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then what happened?
When I
was in the evening.
When they came,
Pasanyang Ibu.
Pasanyang and Ibu.
Until the following day.
Both of them were detained until the following day.
And
were you the investigating officer? Answer the question. Answer the question. Were you the investigating officer? Yes or no? Answer the question.
No, I'm saying yes, but can I come in
just
here?
Just leave it there.
Yes, can I come in here?
Yes, yes.
Just tell me
my role.
I will ask what your role is.
No, but you
have to exercise discipline in this process. And allow me to do my work. You understand? Fortunately, there are no slaps and kicks here. But nonetheless, respect the process and answer my question. Were you in charge of that investigation? Were you in charge of that investigation?
No, when I mean.
No, it was not me.
Who was in charge of that investigation?
It was Munir himself.
But Muniru was Director General.
Yes.
So you want to tell me that it was the Director General who conducted the investigation?
Yoni afala wide me wonda mako director yeso jo galle on tigil kanko jettuno affaire ma pour liggindina affaire mabbe kambe.
That is what you want to tell us?
Dum fala da halande yimbe.
Ko makko wano dum direct.
He was the person who directed.
But who was actually in charge of the investigation?
Hombo tiki jogino affaire ma pour liggindingo dartindo affaire mabbe no walore non.
Min mi do tawano he ndagole futagole.
I was among those who did the investigation at the starting.
Did you lead the investigations at the starting?
De gilandema fuddi don dartina gol affaire mabbe ndokko an wonno yeso jo mi dartino robe en affaire mabbe fo liggindino affaire mabbe on.
Ado.
Yes, at the beginning.
Exactly.
First day.
Yes. But you seem not to have had any recollection of this incident at all. At first, you pretended you did not know about it.
Yes, I said that because I mentioned the coupons.
But you suggested that you were not involved in this at all. Do you recall just telling the commissioners that you were in fact not there at the time? You were
at my postings, because my posting
what I know about your question was that where I was posted. That's why I said I was posted at the post office. I cannot remember exactly where I was posted, in fact, but I can remember the incident. And what I can remember, I can say that.
Okay.
But what I cannot remember, I will not be able to say that.
You see, you have to listen. Instead of coming out charging and arguing, it's not necessary.
I'm sorry if that's the way you see it, that we are arguing. I'm sorry about
the
that.
The problem is you being too talkative instead of just focusing on answering the questions asked.
Okay.
Just answer the questions asked.
Okay, that's good.
When Ibu Khan was brought to the NIA, where were you?
When he came, I was there.
Did you come into contact with him?
Yes.
Did you take him to his cell?
No.
Who took him to the cell?
If he was put in a cell, it must have been done by the security.
You telling me if he was put in a cell? It must have been. So you're just speculating about what has happened. We don't need that speculation. You are there and you are responsible for the investigation. Tell us what happened.
What happened, that's what I'm saying. When they came initially, that time, Pasanyang was there and I said he should be giving his statement.
We are talking about Ibu.
I'm coming with Ibu. Then go to my Ibu.
And just the same time that Ibu also came. When Ibu came,
because
at that time Munir himself was there. In fact, he was at the door.
Johnny,
Then he himself, I said to him, that's Ibu. And in his presence, I handed them over to the security. Himself and Pasanyang.
And you are skipping, deliberately skipping things that have happened. You're avoiding something, aren't you?
No, that's not
You
the
are
case.
avoiding the beatings.
ida doggude lappugol ngol ko wadi ton ko
wana non
As soon as he arrived,
ilandemo e hewdi tan
as soon as he arrived, you attacked him with a stick and you were beating him.
o hewdi tan hippuda e hoore makko fuddida lappugol mo e sawru
dum wana dum gonga te tay ko wodi bibiyat ko hebi kono wana dum gonga te be bari alla na dum setti te dum do ko ha yeso alla
If that's if that's what has happened, I would have owned up to it. But no, that's not true. I didn't beat him.
Mr. Cham, you are not the only NIA officer.
Mr. Cham, wona anta woni gollaido NIA ton.
You know that. You have over 500 staff. And this particular person knew a lot of the NIA officers. Isn't that the case?
Yes, that could be.
And you had no problems with him, did you?
Yes, we
never had a problem.
Why would this guy select you out of 500 plus people? To say that you tortured him. Munir was there. He was your boss. He did not accuse Munir. Other people were there. He did not accuse them. He accused you.
Yes, I will just say that it's false. There is no truth in it.
It's hatred.
It's just hatred.
Because you're too handsome? So he hates you?
Well, you said that.
I don't want to use the words Ibukan used in his statement.
Ibukan kongulide o haali dum ka ko windano hala mako kam kongulide o haali ni mi faala ka rewtade e majji.
To put it mildly,
weydina dum.
He said, Omar Cham beat me mercilessly. And he told me, you would know that when you come here, me, Omar Cham, we will beat you.
That's
what happened.
That's not true.
You would not admit it because your victims are already way too many.
If it is not true, there is no way that I can accept it. It is not true, so I will not agree to that. Because it is not true. I will not accept that.
You tortured too many people. That's true, isn't it?
Yes, I did it to some people.
To a lot of people.
Yes, I did it to people.
I am saying to a lot of people. To a series of people.
Yes, as far as they've gone up to 7 people.
We are now at 9.
This is what they say. That's their version, not mine.
The fact is, Mr. Witness, you are a serial torturer. That is the truth.
No, that's not true.
So if you torture a series of people over time, which you did, isn't it? You tortured a series of people over time.
And the Kalako what yes I mean what accept Kadi because by the coming one coming half it on.
Whatever happened in my presence as far as I am their head, I will accept it.
Mr. Witness,
say down.
Just answer the question. Rambling.
Just answer the question. I'm answering your questions. He said I tortured people, and I said yes.
In a series of tortures.
Tawa mama aboki e lappu ko yimbe dudube.
Yes or no?
Ima ala.
Yes, there are people I tortured, yes.
That makes you a serial torturer.
Yes, if that's the way you see it, yes, okay.
No, it is seen. Not he seeing it that way.
In fact,
if that's the way
it is
it's seen, yeah, okay.
Well, that's the way it is. It was, for that matter. That is the way it was. You were a serial torturer.
I agree that I did it to some people.
Yes.
And in fact, all these high-profile cases that came to you, including Silaba Samate and others, they were tortured.
Te ha hande ko dum mitari ha he yeso Allah kadi ko dum mitari
I say
pedo ko ha he yeso Allah ko Allah nyawoyta akna mambe so be pare kala mo ngananta ma ka gido mabbe wala ka gido am mino ma nyaagi ya nyaago Allah pour o rewa lawol hakkunde am he mabbe he dum don.
As for them, no, things that I didn't do, I will not accept that. I will not agree to that. And I am saying this, and Allah is hearing me.
Consistent on that.
Yes.
You also tortured Esa Baji Jesus in the same manner in which you did.
Allah pima wadi Jesus Esa Baji kadi ko metti. No lapirda no wadirda non isilla ba samere ko no wadirda Esa Baji kadi.
Wona dum gonga. Tagi hande mi do biya kala mo wona. Kala mo nganta ma ka gido Esa Baji. He kala mo nganta ma ka gido am ya nyaago Allah pour Allah rewala wal hakkunde am he mako. Kala mo wona yo nyaago dum pebe pour Allah wada dum. Te ya Allah yo Allah wadum.
I'm praying to Allah. Now, okay, John, yes, I'm praying to Allah to decide between me and those people who accused me falsely. I'm praying to Allah for Allah to judge between me and them.
May God help us all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Amen.
May God help us all.
You are
and okay, now that you are invoking Allah,
yes,
who else did you torture at the NIA? Between you and Allah. Who else did you torture at the NIA? Tell us.
I cannot remember.
Because they are. Because they
apart from those I mentioned.
Because there are too many. You only accept them. Mr. Witness. Just answer the question. You see, whenever I touch a nerve, you just
yes,
you explode.
The
reason for that is
the question is, who else did you torture at the NIA?
I cannot remember them.
Because there are too many.
No, I will not agree to that.
Gazi and his group?
Gazi
you
I've told you what happened about that.
You tortured them?
They were tortured.
You participated in their
I was there, then I have to be part of it.
Yes.
Yes,
we made sure they are handcuffed because when they had drug or burnt off.
Mr. Witness, you see, this is the first.
It is true.
Listen.
I'm not denying it.
Yes, but now is the first time you have ever admitted it.
No, I told you this. I told you this.
Never.
No, I told you this, Council.
When?
Check.
It's not even in my notes.
It is there.
I just decided to go back onto that.
You never
mentioned it at all.
But maybe you didn't hear when I told you. But now, as far as I have admitted now, then take that.
Because they have heavy message or when they were Johnny drug or Yama Bonto. So Johnny me put it now. So don't know Johnny me put it handcuff. You know we invite them. So during that you know, couple and suit. So be pari min body makes on their handcuffs. So don't pirim param body don't gonga.
Okay, when we got the information that there is drugs have been found at Bonto, that's the time we decided to cuff them and go along with them.
Okay, can you define pirim param for us?
And what he was saying was that when we were about to cuff them, ensued a scuffle. That's what he means by pirim param.
No. No. He said something scuffle, and there was pirim param. Yes. So tell us, what is this pirim param?
Pirim param firti.
When they have mean kebi call when they know drug or John or Yama Bondo, terminum poti adu hemabe.
When we had this call that drugs have been found at Bonto and we were supposed to do there.
Answer Johnny. The question is, what do you mean by pirim param?
Allow me hala. Kono go di an ajabata mi hala.
Mr. Witness.
You put it at mi hala. You may be ngana because you may na njidi anu kuwadi. Chairman, sometimes I think you have to come in here, Chairman.
Because people want to know what happened, so this is why I want to explain.
Bishop wants to know what is pirim param.
No, pirim param. When I am in there, I'm in Korea. John, me don't put the foot in cell. Me don't be handcuffed. Mabe ko ma be John because me be be no wonder why then just happen to drug or yama.
Johnny Fad. I informed that. My friend, you don't want this to be translated.
Sorry. Mr. Witness, is it not true that the pirim param is in fact the beating?
Yeah. Yes.
So you avoided it by calling it pirim param.
What he said was that when we told them that we are going to take them to Bonto, we started taking them out of the cells and cuffing their hands. Yes. That's the time when this scuffle ensued.
And that's the time the pirim param started. And that is when you beat them.
We started and we ensured they are handcuffed. And they
were pressed tightly.
They were handcuffed. When I mean handcuffed, whether it was pressed tightly.
I know they were cuffed. Whether the handcuffs were tight or not, I didn't put the cuffs on their hands. They were handcuffed, whether they were tight or not, I don't know. But after the cuffing, we went with them.
And Mr. Witness, you tortured them because you have just been informed that drugs were discovered in these people's premises.
On lapuno be ma wat no be ko musi sabuna on gebe family on wonda ma palace ma be woni bonto drok on yamaton on lapuno.
Isn't that the case?
Lawana no walore
alani wobe hema onanon nanon why wonir
it may be that way.
Nanon why wonir
it could be but wait, let me come.
Yes.
Nanon why when because I the assumption na ya da we the
because you don't like the word assumption.
Me do have further pour mbada understand
why I want to go further is
I satisfied on none.
I want you to understand. This is why I want to go further.
Okay, just answer the questions.
Yeah, but on landing.
They were beaten because it was discovered that they had a cache of drugs. Yes,
that's part of it. That happened, yes.
Yes. All right. You and your colleagues were incensed by what you heard, that these guys had a cache of drugs.
Yes, that is part of it. That happened.
Yes. And that is why he was beaten. They were beaten mercilessly.
Yes, that was part of it.
Yet Silaba Samate is there. He claimed he was doing it for the president. And nothing happened to him.
Because
because we got all we wanted from him. That's why.
Mr. Witness, the NIA would even beat you before you utter a word.
No, that's not me. I don't.
You only beat afterwards. You don't beat before.
si on tigi haali lappatamo.
You beat before or after?
Ko Allah pay on tigi do haalde ndako si o haali lappama.
Andi na hedditi hoko wadi.
It depends on what he did.
What happened?
What happened?
Or it depends on what happened.
So in drug cases, the moment the allegation comes out, you start beating.
Munda ko no way ni awa if he drop on dong tumangal si ari on tigi tan ko on watu do lappude on tigi.
Illegal connections, you also beat.
No, as for me, that's not the way.
Okay, but the Bonto guys.
Kono Bonto ko wanno ton kon o e be yimbe mabbe ben.
The Bonto guy dum ko onyan nyani dima te dum ta dum boyi sa. But ben hay dara ben jabani hal.
And those people refuse to talk.
So you beat them.
Minene ko am mi dengandi do odon drug dum wawa do ar hen dido lady tawata yimbe do tigi mbokani hen dum ko wadi ko do dum ba dum do adu ta ala Gambians at the top level be ngantama be tawaka hen dum kay minene ko am minen fo mi den dum gandi.
We knew that that amount of drugs cannot be brought into the country without the involvement of some top-ranking officials.
Yes,
like
prominent people.
Like
why you humble? Why you humble?
Yeah, I said top officials. That can mean
you have somebody in mind.
Isn't
that the case?
This what I can say, top officials. Council. Council sometimes
council sometimes you try to push me to a corner. You know what has happened.
I was not here.
No, I know you were not here. You know, like even
Mr. Witness, you have somebody in mind when you said that. Who do you have in mind?
When I say if in on time ni head time do for what had the mudum and the tigi.
When this thing happened, before in fact everything was revealed,
Jesus Horomako asked IG, I no time, but we are no one you need to red blocks along the road.
Jesus himself as IG.
Pare dum don fo godum dum nama oka chobange te pare kadi ya jame Horomako helbe na tumi wonde wa mako Horomako mboen andi hunde.
And apart from Yaya Jammeh himself, a lot of people were saying that he knew something about those drugs.
So Mr. Witness,
service chiefs, you know, he put a clue. And
the service chiefs themselves could have a clue because they suspected they could have a clue.
Is that the reason why the drug disappeared?
Ani drug simi already disappear kadi tigi labani kan pos kono kodum soba.
If I say the drug has disappeared, well, that is not very clear to me, but that's the suspicion that it disappeared.
But sayandari taki hamini ora mivino.
Why? The reason why I say that,
usually see drug destruction sinawada.
Usually, if drug is going to be destroyed, it will be publicized and it will be shown where it has been destroyed. And that amount of drug, if it is going to be destroyed,
press or interest after is in fact
the press will be invited and the government will publicize the information to tell people that so and so amount of drug is going to be destroyed so that people will be aware.
You're telling us that did not happen?
As for me, that's how I knew it.
Bunsane and Co, were they tortured?
Bunsane imbe makobe ndabe nongade be lapano mabe wadano ko musi.
Nyamin ngondi hemabe nyamin dabitabe be malaka torture.
When we were looking for them and when we were with them, they were not tortured.
Now when we are looking for them, when we are investigating them, nyamin dabita kulemabe, nyamin bichita kulemabe.
Shall we that be to go? That's looking for somebody. Looking for something.
You know, sometimes
don't argue with the interpreter. If you're not satisfied,
yes,
just say what you want to say.
I'm sorry.
The interpreter is just helping the commission.
Yes. And sometimes what I have discovered is he made the direct call from flag to English. And
Yes.
sometimes it makes difference.
Yes, you know what you want to
Okay.
say. If it is not conveyed to your satisfaction, just tell us what you want
And
to
then
say. Don't quarrel
the
with
time
the
then,
interpreter.
I'm sorry if it is a
Yes.
see, now it's a quarrel.
You are today in your quarreling gap. You quarreling with the interpreter, you quarreling
In fact,
with me.
the interpreter, I know I will apologize to him, because since yesterday, it seems that I'm upsetting him. Yesterday I was praying when he was going, but I would have apologized to him. And I will do that in due course. What I want to say is, when we were investigating, doing our interaction with them, because they were also already dismissed and then detained. So when we come to investigate them, during that course, our interaction with them, there was no torture method on them.
Where they
during
tortured?
that course. During that course. Then
tortured?
subsequently after, that one, I cannot say they were not tortured. You understand?
It means, therefore, you can say that they were tortured.
The chances are very high, yes, that they will be tortured.
It's not just chances. It's not just chances, Mr. Witness. They were actually tortured.
And if that is, I will take it.
No, you accept they were tortured.
Accept, Commander, because it is very high.
I know that
Mr. Witness,
chances are high that they might be tortured.
you just told us they were tortured.
Say them, are we doing the one that bela pama be wadama
And then me, what they got on detention for more than 72 hours in itself, a horrible torture.
Well, I said that even to detain somebody for more than 72 hours is also torture.
Violation.
Mr. Witness, we're not talking about unlawful detention.
say them
But this part of
halu
torture, that is
go
also
go wanda ma
condemned.
judingol nedo dula goro ko anada wanda yada ne luwa
Just answer my question.
jabo lande dan dindang
You know that
Andi wona.
Bunsane and co were tortured
ida
at the NIA
ida
premise.
andi wonda ma bunzane kanyum ma be nangida be benkade be woni yimbe be andana wonda ma be la pama to ma be wadama ton ko musi
If you say I know, I will tell you no. I do not know. But I strongly believe it is a possibility.
It was an actuality.
No, I want.
It could be.
And the council got it.
Did you see them limping?
da ayino be wonda ma hibe jiju
Belaja. Allah.
No, I didn't see them.
Did you see injuries on them?
da ayino barme e ma balli mabbe di
Allah.
No.
Did you see swollen faces?
ayino balli mabbe di ma yesi mabbe hino buuti
Allah.
No.
Did you see anything on them to suggest they were tortured?
nda e balli mabbe nda ayi ko ayi wodi ko yida e balli mabbe ko wiata ma wonda
In fact,
that's not clear.
You see,
But the time when I was there, that didn't happen.
we were interacting with them.
yet you are bold enough to say
ha jodi adum nangi mabbe nda wigo wiya wonda ma
that in all likelihood they were tortured.
no waw fo no wayno wiida wonda ma be me mama
You definitely know something,
ida andi hen goddum
which is the reason why you said that.
dum waddali sababu ko woni sababu ko wadi wiida hakan
Because everything that you show
sabu ko wiida ko yiwda ton kon fop
negatives torture.
dum fo ko holdiri ko woni wonda ma
Yet
listen,
you are bold enough to say that in all likelihood they were tortured.
ha joni da wiya wonda dum nangi mabbe nda wiya wonda ma dum be la
That assertion can't be baseless. What were you
don
thinking?
no wawi wanda wonda
Mi
ka
doma mi ma wonde no ande min kebdata he mabbe affaire mi dem mi wada investigate on cause rani dum mi nakti ni ma dum fo he mabbe te dum mi yandum he mabbe to on tuma mi na kam felliti dum dum nan kono ndemin check he mabbe ha min kempini kule mabbe min kebdane he mabbe affaire ko don biyan mi on tuma mi ndarani dum don ko mbita ko bom sako ha mi do anda ndako dum na wodi ndako wodan.
What I said is that when we were interacting with them, when we were together with them, no torture took place. Until we did our investigation, until when we were ready with them, then after we left them, that's what I mean, after we were not with them, maybe something could have happened in our absence.
And I did not also have the see of try to find out whether they are limping, whether they have injuries, swollen face, or what. I don't do that.
The reason why what you say is not believable is because you said in all likelihood they were tortured. What is your basis?
What I said is my basis.
So you have no basis.
Mr. What I said, that's what I know.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Clearly, you have committed offenses.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
In fact, many of them.
And they actually did many of them.
You see, you come back to the same thing, many of them.
Answer my question.
Yes.
You have committed many offenses.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
If you are not granted amnesty, you will be prosecuted.
Yes, I know that.
Are you guilty of those offenses?
Yes, I said that, and I even said that I am apologizing, and I said at the end of everything also, I will apologize.
Yes.
And do you realize that if you continue to speak untruth, you would not qualify for amnesty?
Ndahida fami wanda masita iwani kontini yarugol ni ala halde gongo hida salotang hinu wawi shaishi aturike puru yafwe no wayi hebata en yafwe
Dumna kamla ipos.
Yes, that's very clear to me.
Good. So I just flag that so that you have that at the back of your mind.
Nyali dun dam puru wada dun eba hakkille maden mara dun don ton.
Yesterday,
Yes, that's in my mind from here to the next world.
okay. Yesterday you told the commission that you did not say that you did not see Silaba's son. You did not hold Silaba's son to take him upstairs. You
nangani bido Silaba on nanguda jungo makuna nakuda mudo hanki ko duwida commission ondo
O wi bido gorko ko son o wi
son e bido mako gorko
mi o alani on tuma ko bido o wi mi bido so si ko bido gorko ne mi wala ndum ko gonga.
What I said was that Silaba's child, but I didn't mention the word son.
Okay, let's play the video. And then we see what you have said.
Ben video jento den ko halda ko hanki.
Maji.
That's good.
We know Twitter.
Mike.
Thank you. As that is being done, perhaps we could just proceed onto other things.
No problem.
And then we would come back to this. So, we would take statements from Bunsane and Co. And I ask you again, were they tortured? And the commissioners are listening intently. They would be the people to decide your amnesty application if you apply. Bunsane and Co, were they tortured?
Mimi waktu min gonde ma e pour David go waktu min David tabeo pour min go statement ni mabbe di.
Time we arrested them and we are investigating them.
We not arrested them.
Okay.
They were arrested already.
Time they were arrested and we were investigating them.
They mean hamin bindi kongoli mabbe di.
And we write their statements.
Don be mbalaka haydara.
Nothing was done to them.
Be dara mitaka ba mitinani mabbe be dara.
I was not aware of anything that was done to them.
After dum don.
After that,
I'm saying that.
Now why
something has happened to them. That's what I said.
What happened to them?
What I mean is that if it's said that they were beaten, I am saying that that's a possibility. Yes.
We are not talking about possibilities. Were they tortured?
When we were taking statements, we don't beat them and they were not beaten. But after statement taking, when we were not with them, that's what I mean by that something could have happened to them. But when we were taking their statements, we didn't do anything to them.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to this. I think...
Yesterday I said that. I just said a child. I didn't say a son or a
daughter. Okay, Mr. Cham.
So that because they are finding difficult to find, so that time is
Mr. Cham. Mr. Cham.
It's okay. Let us have a look at it.
Just leave it.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Don't be too argumentative.
No, I need to go have no matter.
Yes, I'm sorry about this.
The Lang Tombong crew. Did you participate in that panel?
Yes. The coup that he was accused of, no, I was not part of that.
You did not participate in that investigation?
No, I was not part of the investigation.
We have heard, did you come to know whether they were tortured or they were not tortured?
I
know that it was said that they were tortured. Yes. In those days, the news came out in our office that they were tortured.
And do you believe that that information is true? And We have received information that babies were brought to the NIA. For human sacrifice.
Sadaka.
That I am not aware of it, and I have never even heard of it between me and Allah.
How about poisoning of people?
I know that someone called Bambamane
what if office ameno and the 2006 Nuk Cham Kuzao. He
was one of the first people, even either among the first people to be aware of that information.
Can you tell us what is the information?
Mako wano gagdo vi wande no ma soldar hebe pariwa de kudata.
He's the person who came and gave us the information that soldiers wanted to carry out a coup.
Min komi andi office ameno ko heturu bamba min gandil wande no ma kudata na 40 watt nyande nogase go match.
And it was him, his information, which made us know that on the 21st of March, they were about to carry out a coup. And at that time,
Antuma mako hore mako ohalani dum Captain Sen he do no mi andri.
He himself gave that information to Captain Sen.
Then Captain Sen no mi andri kadi ko on wadi call Mariana wontum tuma one day president Mauritania pour ohalana mo ko dum do kewi.
And it was Captain Sen who called Mariana, who was then with the president in Mauritania.
On Bamba hade makomai alarba alani ko asset o mai kono alarba hade makomai min jidi.
And Bamba died he died on Saturday, but I saw
on Wednesday before Saturday he died.
Before Saturday he died.
Minjidi council I tag ko kala mi ko.
Just go ahead.
Okay.
The commissioners are listening.
Okay. On that Wednesday, he told me, he said that there are some people he suspected who want to poison him so that he can die. He himself, Bamba himself, told me this. This is why when I heard about his death on Saturday, that's the first thing I remembered. His words, what he told me.
Musa Jamme Hetumbul Tamba, Minen Kibali Gandado, Hudo, Mongantama, Helben Nangumisa Kohebi, one denoma Ben Debe Tampi Lopitan.
And Musa Jamme and Tumbul Tamba. A lot of people also came to know that they also suffered and they were in fact hospitalized.
Yimbe Helben and Chobi.
A lot of people suspected that.
Antuma because put the halaji but the girl haltogol why no ni Johnny Caltory.
And those two people, what happened was that they started talking by themselves and they were saying some very serious things. And I heard that they were also poisoned so that they can die. And a lot of us heard that news, and a lot of us, in fact, believed what happened. That's what happened.
Who was accused of doing this poisoning?
Hombo tegangal tumal wonde ko kanko wadi dem bade jonnugol be yimbe o posin.
Bamba ndako ora.
Is it Bamba or who?
Bamba, Tumbul, and Musa Jammeh.
Bamba on mi anda ko hombo because owiani kam mi kesani molam lo ko hombo hebo fogi kono mi andi nombo andi wonde no ma ko government security agents kono dain Tumbul Tamba he Musa Jammeh yimbe ko e mbiata wonde no ma ko ya Jammeh tigibi non minen no min nani dum ni hono dum dumani ko non.
And as for Bamba, I don't know. What we had was the government security agents. But as for Tumbul Tamba and Musa Jammeh, what they said was it was Yaya Jammeh.
Directive.
He gave the directive.
Did the NIA investigate that?
NIA
Three security
I was
agents
not aware
dying
of that.
of poisoning.
I was not aware of that.
Okay. You were aware of disappearances of individuals?
What do
you call me Andy Hende?
Yes, I knew something about it.
Can you tell us?
Randi marena hebe o nangi dan wobe soldaro marena ibulo he ba me tutorani ile tigi.
You know, Marina was arrested with some other people.
Sorry.
Marina was arrested with some people like Ibulo and Ba and some others.
Ben benanga be pare Arabia Johnny Ben ko nabeteno be janjambure be pare he lawal he moto heavy accident ontuma be posti be ndogi be njehi.
And it was stated that they were arrested and they were en route to be taken to Janjambure. Their vehicle had an accident and that's where they escaped.
Tigi okingol kongol kibaru ji pour holugol yimbe bene konon umoni be ndogi be njehi be mbadi escape.
And it was the government itself who gave out that news that these people escaped after their vehicle had an accident on the way to Janjambure.
Was that news correct or was it
on kibar ko gonga ndako fenande
hibaro wana o gonga because alani ndedum wadi horem hayminen soma so min puddi lamdo ndir like officer men puddi lamdo ko hebe ngonno hen because a hulanat ben te be par hono dum wawi rimonir
because we ourselves at the office, we were unable to believe it, because how could that happen when they were being taken to Janjambure and they were under custody?
Sandari yimbe benganta ma wabe no bedon ni sina nabe from one point to another ko wadi ko correct no security wadi rini taika security minded da andi kule security ka heba moto mungaranta ma ono wana dieso ko jogi be fetelaji ngonta hemako den keba moto gono helerinde on wada wonbe be nganta ben woni nangabe te be par ko potbe wade handcuff kadi ngeba jogi be fetelaji hender on moto den keba kadi moto goddo baaw at least si famdi ha famdi ko moto ji dido moto ji tati potta hebde.
Things like that, people of high profile like those people, if they were being transported from one point to the other, there should have been serious security arrangements, like in front, there would be one vehicle in front where you will have the security and who will also be armed with guns, and there will be another vehicle in the middle, and those people on board that vehicle, where they will be armed. And in fact, where those people arrested, where the vehicle that they will be occupying will also be guarded, and there will be another vehicle behind, where you will have some security officers who will also be armed to make sure that these people are escorted to wherever they are being taken to.
You are saying the government lied.
Yes.
Was it common knowledge at the NIA that the government lied?
Yes.
How about Aruna Jame?
Aruna Jame no, afirma kono.
And the Aruna Jame, me made no one duty scanning lie. Me duty hit and I couldn't forget and down to my 2000 swaffer.
One time I was on duty at Kanilai. I forgot the day, but it must be with 2000 and Hudum.
No, me had it. Me forget uncle had a 2004. Year 2000. The one what to that.
It was before the year 2000.
Around that time.
Around that time.
Johnny, Barado, Midani, Communal President, Kono Indian on Midway, Dumani, Mandako Haruna, Konon, me forget uncle Haruna. I mean, he forgot.
I think the name is Haruna, and I heard that he was the president's brother.
The Gita Usman Tamba, Imino officer, Mentako, me went on duty or return.
Usman Tamba, in fact, I was on duty that day when he came there.
We want to know Usman Kodono Arani, one of the mineral brother president. So one non come Ori or Yimbo town to Massa, Hebedon Kutano Nageko, headed on Ottawa.
And he said he came for that man who happens to be the president's brother. And they left together.
Who came for him?
Usman Tamba.
Usman Tamba came to collect him.
And who was Usman Tamba?
He was working at our office, but he is retired now.
And then what happened?
They went together. They went together from our headquarters. And I think, if I can remember properly, that man was Haruna, the man he came to collect.
How did you know it was Haruna? And I know that Jalamang happens to be an elderly person, but this man is younger. So as they said he was the president's brother, this is why I thought it was Haruna.
I know that Jalamang is the president's brother, and the other one is also an elderly person. So I believe it is Haruna.
Yeah, I believe that.
Did you hear him being called by that name?
Yes, if I can remember properly, that's the name they called him, if I can remember properly. Okay. In fact, there was a problem there.
What was the problem?
Jalamang. Kono president o ta homo to nder galle makko ko to nder galle to sa o jepta ko daya jami on tuma hombo ton makko hore makko.
Jalamang was not there, but the president himself was at home, and that's where he was picked.
To on tuma Jalamang ari nakam lamdo, ko hombo arani do kari mbio mi anda ko hombo arani mbodo do hombo lamdo kadi hoto be na imbo so o woni hombo farsa pour nyomi halan bo ko hombo arani mbodo te hoto o naba.
And it was Jalamang who came there and started asking me, who came here to collect this man, and where was he taken to?
Which man did he tell you?
If I can remember, he used the name Haruna Jamme.
Then Antumanon, Ombokam Alani Hombolobi, Ombokam Anda coming Kotika president, Combion for Kulmawata, and Bomana and one coming kept president of Kulma Dimindo.
And in fact, the man was angry when he was talking. He was saying that, don't you know that I am the president's brother? Then I also told him that, yes, but we are also here for a purpose.
Did you tell him where Haruna was?
No, I
didn't tell him. Because there were many people. Even if I am going to tell him, I will not be able to tell him there because there were many people present.
So you never told him that Haruna was picked up by the NIA?
Yes. Later on, he agreed to talk to me separately. Then that's the time I gave him the information that it was Usman Tamba who came for Haruna.
Was Haruna seen since then?
That's not clear to me.
How about Masi?
Masi, no?
Jamme?
Masi Jamme.
Masi on mi anda no yari kono ado first am yagolton mi anda dum ko 96 na ko 97 mi andi on tuma kay Masi mi yanu mo tebe pare ko
2006.
Masi, I don't know what happened to her.
Alani min ko on time tam yeton la bididi dum woni ado am yagolton dum ko 96 wala 97 on tuma mi no Masi because the secretary sa o kanu mi nyambri sa on tuma tana sati because ton ta ko hewi wada katon town.
I was going there around 96. That's the time when I used to see Masi. In fact, sometimes he used to give us food because things were not very well, things were not easy at that time at the place. That's the time when I used to see Masi. Yes. But after that, I don't see her anymore.
The NIA was also involved in elections. This country.
Yes.
Do what?
pour be wada hon dun tan
Rani si elections nawala normally can min badete hender lady he we are deployed already rani mi den kebi officer ji jaham hender lady he.
When elections are approaching and about to take place, they deploy us around the country because we have offices around the country.
What is your purpose of deployment?
hon dun taki hibe na bawon ka lady don be saki ton ka lady
41 de ko pour check goal pour wala faire on election o yara no 14 yar
Go just to go and check and make sure that elections happen accordingly the way it should happen.
Is it to help the government
dako fa bita gol lamugo
rig the elections?
pour be ganyo wota den
dum ko 2016 wadi.
That happened in 2016.
The government wanted to steal the election and they wanted the NIA to help.
lamugo fala wujjude carte den pour de jonno be fala ena be yo fa bito be
Wadi ko sanari dum ko dum tamba tawide.
Well, what happened, if you look at it properly, that's the only reason.
That's the only thing you can say.
That's the only thing you can say.
That it is, of course, to rig.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
hon dun taki halu dadu
De ajame vi wonde no ma election o fewani unawadi dulaji yimbe mako njawani yimbe mako be ngota nangam te don gede on tuma office haldon town.
After the elections, when Yaya Jammeh said elections were not fair,
Yimbe mako be chalima be wada vote.
They prevented his people from voting.
Then lady sako you are he during the yimbe amen be ngat no voter register the fourth office headquarters amen.
And our people who were posted at various places in the upriver and some other areas, they had to bring all the voter register books.
Dum sanari dum joni ko taki fere dum mara go ton ko wata ma holudan kari voti he kari votani so ananden be biya be votani be ko ben ton ben kada vot wala ko ben dum pour ton votande ya.
And when you go through those books, the only thing you can find out is Mr. So-and-so voted or he didn't vote. And those who didn't vote, those people were the ones you can check.
Dum aya jo no holliga pugando yamme ko vita ko yimbe mako ina kata awad vot ayat bedon be biya ta onde ko bedo ben goni ben kare be jotna nombaji di ofo.
And what they wanted to do was to take the numbers of the people who didn't vote. Then that's the time when they'll say Mr. So-and-so didn't vote and so on, and those people were going to be the people who were going to be checked.
That seems to me like some desperate investigative moves and not necessarily an effort to steal an election. Would you agree?
No, ko bittere wadi dum kono non wona wondema ko non wote fi wote foti toppitade kono don dey ko bittere wayri untuma be no wayno dal o yani
ani ko bittere ndenganan tama hende wondi he mijo pour adugo dal ko wana lawol.
Well, that means truly they wanted to do something which was illegal.
A disparate investigation aimed at trying to defraud.
Yes.
But that aside, the NIA was used to intimidate political opponents of the APRC.
NIA kidmen golle pour be hulbina yimbe mo anduda ko ben dal be sobi wo be daranani yeso leydi ndi
ani dum midway okuru difference am because sanari goddi di si be ngani joni an ka akelifa te hada he jogi bawo.
When they check and know that this person is an elderly person and he has a good background,
mada fere no be kebirma ida be mbelni to manu ngondi ta hema be wala be mada pewje ma be no be duman kebirma dal.
They will always set plans how they can win you over. They will coerce you to join them, or they will set other plans whereby they will be able to get what they want from you.
Like what kinds of plans? What kinds of plans?
And like Sanari OJ.
Just like if you look at somebody like OJ.
2006, but it mean on to my mean Gabotonobe, because me he meeting Ibo Town, me he meeting abuko he don area ji fo on tuma rani presidential election o ya jame fokiti town to do bedo bengoni guy town pour wata be kawgonde dula dum adda fitina.
I attended meetings at Igbo town and some other places. UDP, the meetings that the UDP were carrying out.
I think something is missing in the interpretation. I had fitna, but that was not interpreted.
Fitna, that means to create problems, to bring trouble.
But that was not interpreted.
Sorry about that.
Could you say that again? Could you go back to that?
We ruta hala
andi mako hambo foti yawtu town alande poti tarole dima e fo kono be jata ni ko goto yawta town ha juta den goddo na rewan so ndebe jawti town on tuma UDP tana hede kombo gay kanifin municipality be gay mbada meeting ha den ya jame yawta
if they always give chance for these heads to pass. For example, if Yaya Jammeh is supposed to pass by somewhere, they will make arrangements for him to pass, and it will take some time before the other one, like the opposition, will be allowed to come and pass by the same area. Just to avoid trouble.
Johnny Oje don hemitina jidi guy ko wona tombo hala jidi ngantama
and the meetings that he was attending and where he was speaking ko hodum halaji halata
mbola halaji mbola mbo ndari ndira lamu jawara he ko be kebi ko mabbe ko galleji do hebi wala ko way hebi he ko jaro ko goddo way he Yaya Jammeh he yimbe makko be on waktu ko be mbawi ko he gede kewde de o halta de ngantama lamu ngu tawi so yaadi ni nder leydi o taroge ma hedi halaji tan yimbe hewbe dala dum te dum na wawi wat fere ha be nguma be ngonta e domabe. Sorry.
What OJ was saying, he was comparing the Jawara government and the Yaya Jammeh government. The good things that were happening during Jawara's government, those things and things that were happening in Yaya Jammeh's government, these things were the things that he was comparing. And the way he was doing it is a way whereby they will win more people to come and join them instead of joining the other party. That's the way he was doing his campaign.
My question is, was the NIA used at any point in time to intimidate people?
NIA beng what hebi ke me wanda ma hebe na fitora be puru
to support the APRC
lo bingol yimbe beng puru ya yimbe puru be jingana APRC
or to withdraw their support from the opposition
ma iya wanda ma be itta hore ma be jingangol opposition aji
dum mi wi madum
Yes, I said that.
Yes. General John, yes, General Affair Ojo, it involves security.
Yes, I said that. Yes. Just as I was saying, I gave OJ's case as an example. This is why, in fact, he was arrested and taken to Kairaba station. So that he will not be part of the team who were going to tour the country.
Do you have any other example of such steps taken by the security agencies in order to give an unfair advantage to the government in power?
Misal go mohalata wonde ma gandu gardo be andana ko dem fere be jettuno pour yew igol tabbe be
ni nawano goddo bite touré me anda ine makko ko to woni ono wite bon daen banjul do ono wite bon.
There was somebody also called Ture. He was staying around Tobacco Road.
Keba Ture?
Keba Ture. Antuma ne omedo adioben ta kadi election one norek ta ambo jogi kadi arani next election area parliamentary election ko ambo jogi parallel results ingantama di church he official result gokirado.
As for Keba Ture, there was a time when he had results which were quite different from the results that were announced.
And I
heard that he once came with those things to our office.
UDP.
And that was Profuntingol Hombre UDP, and it was a plan to remove him from the UDP.
Keba Ture was at some stage tortured, wasn't he?
Keba Ture gilaw adano ton wattu hebino ko manda da wonde o tappama ma o wadama ton ko musi ena e ka hoggoton dawana gonga.
Ani dum don de dum labani kam ko non na way wonde.
That's not clear to me, but it's a possibility.
All right. We would leave that for some other witnesses. Now let's go back to what you said about Silaba's child.
Video.
Could you start it? Yes.
Volume.
Yes. Yes. It will.
Take it back. Stop it. The interpretation that came through is I have never held the hand, I have never set eyes on his son. Was that what you said?
That's what the interpreter said, and that's not what I said. Listen to the tape.
So,
listen to the tape, what I said.
Just hold a second. Was there an interpretation mistake or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Okay. It
because
was
I
an
did the interpretation
mistake.
Yes, I did the interpretation.
All right.
Can you increase the volume so the commission hears exactly what you guys said?
Well, I guess it's a technical problem. Okay. It's a technical problem. We can provide the timestamp for the commissioners to take a look at it later. But I think the interpreters confirmed that the mistake was theirs. He said something in Fula, and the interpretation that came through was that he said son. The witness is saying he said child. Well, our interpreter said they made the mistake, so we have to accept that it was their mistake. So, thank you, Mr. Cham.
Ajarama, Mr. Cham.
For answering my questions. Before I yield the floor, do you regret the tortures you carried out at the NIA?
Nda, bade de wadda ndu woni labbu gongol ma wadugol yimbe ko musi de wadda den NIA nda annimsi dum.
Dum minimsi dum no bede te kala do dum way won.
I regret that very seriously, and whoever it may be.
Wherever it may be.
Wherever it may be.
Si tawi ngandum yo mi anda fo mi nimsidum be pare mi do yafno.
Whether I was aware or not, I am saying that I regret and I'm appealing for forgiveness.
To mi do andi lakara e hore mum dum alla lamdo to kam dum mi yawta sirata dum mi wala dum settle.
And I know that even in the next world, I'll be questioned about that. I will not cross the bridge without me being questioned about that. Anybody who can forgive me before that. I'm appealing to you. And for this, I really regret this. I regret it, and Allah knows that.
So,
it is Allah who knows whatever is in a person's mind. But for Allah and His Messenger, anybody who can forgive me, I am appealing to you. This is what I can say, tell you.
Among your victims is a female.
A female.
Among your victims was a female cashier who worked at NAWEC. Who said she was severely kicked and beaten like a football. What do you say to her?
I have made it clear. I cannot refuse to say that.
I did not refuse. I cannot refuse. I said I did not refuse.
Misalaki.
I did not refuse. What do you mean?
Yes. Okay. I am.
What do you say to her?
What I said is that I'm appealing to her to forgive me. If she can forgive me from now against the next war, I am appealing to her to forgive me.
No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you, Mr. Cham, for coming to testify before the Commission.
Yeah, man, when you heard John Deng, we want them, Yeti Council, or Yeti Mang said, Mr. Cham, Arugol Mangal, John Nado said, Agalmangal.
Before I turn to the Commissioners for any questions they may have,
I'm
going to take you through a few very unpleasant points. First, if you can help us for the record, the list of methods of torture that NIA agents use. If you want me to give you one or two examples, you have beatings, you have electrocutions, and so on and so forth. You must be aware of the various methods of torture. Start with that and then continue with a few related to torture.
Yes, the two that you've mentioned are part of it.
Not the two, the ones you mentioned, Kohen Bucky.
He mentioned the two.
This is why I said the ones he mentioned.
Beatings
That's what
and
I said. I
electrocutions.
did not say two there.
Yes, okay, the ones he mentioned.
Kohen Bucky.
They were part of it.
Now I kadi I sa Adama Johnny. Njot in that go to I go to a halda time, I go to a time a silence technique.
Well, sometimes if a person is brought, they will just put you at one place. Nobody will take to you. Nobody will have anything to do with you. That's the silence technique.
Non comme indiam yagete konyamte dumka is for the oketelu.
But they will give you food and water.
Si kadia sogve ya de sutura dumne oketelu.
And if you want to visit the restroom too, they will allow you.
Don ko tawa he ko wateko.
And these are things that happen there.
Let's focus on physical torture.
Joni fewtan edu woni yettugol sawru lappa on tige bandu tige.
If you can give me some examples of what NIA uses. I'm aware of at least maybe 15 or so. I had gone to Copenhagen on behalf of the United Nations to a torture rehabilitation center. And the methods that are displayed in that center, they're extraordinary. You added monkey dancing. You didn't mention that one. But if you can just deal with the physical tortures for the moment, we will. I'll come back to you on that.
And yes, monkey dancing, and it is also a part of physical fitness, because that will also give you the physical fitness.
Yes.
Even though it's a form of punishment. Go ahead.
Yes, that's part of it.
Like what Golma handcuff, do them at the kabe, or like Monjidani, quite them at the kabe.
And also they will tie your hands and tie your legs.
Waterboarding?
No, what about the mean come andi dal. Mr. Arani like me andine lumna wada loted at ndiam. You know, when Jurman ndiam, go to sit in a bubin sa Juraman ndiam, dumne na wai one.
Yes, that is part of it. It's possible. Like cold water, they can pour it on you. That happens.
Again, this is for the record, the methods of torture that you use at NIA. That's what we're working on. So waterboarding is one of those.
Yes.
Hey.
Any more?
And like taiko military ni jungle si watani akadi dumani ono vitabo ngona hada wada unity basel.
Hold on.
You roll by your head like
yes,
this.
Just as when the junglers are also handling you, you can be made to roll on your head, turning round and round while you go roll on your head.
And does NIA give a training on these methods?
No, jangin tage they don't pay it. Kono midandi like the silence technique dum na tawa he ko jangin tego. Ko silent technique dum woni joni arani go in not arat on lobi ha boxity. Silent no media don't not tawa he ko jangin tego.
Well, as for these head rules, they don't teach people or train people about that. But for the silence technique, when somebody comes, is angry, yes, that happens.
Yeah, Johnny, Achan Bodon, only run on hard, maybe Oata Horemako.
You can leave that person alone there until when the person now recovers.
Well, like this, Oarani corporate, Puru Sayo, Dumani Nani Hemodon, Puru, or corporate, he control Donko, or Randa Modon Dal, or Walla on Kodabitonko, or Walla on Dabitek on Dumnaya silence technique, because I'd be 72 hours. Jonaya Jot number on done. Saya dipagon ma foti njaha gadi siweti kadi ngaksa ko way non hande hade 72 hours maybe go dia ya be kabat sibe kabitan be ngarat be bima ko nangam henangam ni dum wonere.
Well, as for the silence technique also happens when somebody is uncooperative. Somebody who is brought there and he's not ready to help you people, you just put the person and leave the person alone there in the silence technique. So when within the 72 hours, some of them will just come by themselves and cooperate and give you maybe the information that you want. They will cooperate anyhow. That happens also.
With this long list of methods that we use to torture individuals, which ones have you used them personally yourself on victims?
Monkey dance.
I have made somebody to do the monkey dance.
Be pare kadi aya joni kadi mi lemiri neddo jungo am.
I have also hit somebody with my bare hands. Yes.
Those were the only two methods that you used them throughout your 15 years with NIA?
Do be support what the ligida NIA for get it tanjetuda nafirotda pour bitingol
silent technique or yes, to some extent.
Yes, to some extent, I also use the silent technique.
The monkey dance, and you said that had two objectives. One, to help the victim to
physical fitness and also for inflict pain.
Ida monkey dance on dunno ko nafa didi wonton du woni tidina on tigi be musina mo bandu non kadi.
Yes.
One was to victimize, and two was to help him or her exercise his own good.
Yes, I've never done it to a woman.
A female.
Right. Commissioners, if you have any questions, Deputy Chair, please go ahead.
Deputy Kia Umano on ma arda elandagol.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Esa. Thank you, Mr. Cham.
Deputy Kia, we thank you. Ojarama Kia man, da jarama council, ajarama kadiseda.
By your behavior here,
no, ani hore malo.
You have demonstrated that you are a temperamental person.
A holy man do connect manuda bernama immai alobai.
You get easily angered when things do not go your way.
Alobai ko yawi sita pijidini yarani anno yibirani.
Even in a respectable environment like the TRRC.
So even high sita ko dula manuda ko dula manuda yimbe ben no teddini don no wano TRRC don wai.
Your mood swings have shown that you can engage in unpredictable behavior when things do not go your way.
Dum holli awa wonde nodde mo anduda o sansay ko yawi tumango wona neddo mo anduda mboni bubi tumango wona neddo mo anduda fi makko no wuli awa sansude wa non.
This can lead to detrimental action on your part.
Dum non wawa wadde mbada goddum no mo anduda no musi
a person that is being investigated. Did the NIA provide you training in anger management and in investigative techniques?
Joni non NIA be jangrini on pour neddo sado wada sifadi golle pour wawa wonde neddo tam wanduda o lobata o neddo wanduda o munyay be jangini on don sengona kala. And what else, madam?
Investigative techniques.
Sita on dartina fi goddo o be jangini on din ferejina. Yes.
You had the training in anger management and in investigative techniques.
Jangini on puru no wawata marir de lo berema sano ndartina fi goddo on kala no wadirta on ligge be jangini on din don fo.
Mi jangi dum no better because when I do hele de mi jangi dum.
I was trained very well in these things, and it was not even in this country.
The kadi mean whether Sandari no mi halektani jimbe andube kambe tigi tigi ngandi no mi halektani wana andum tigi woni min tigi tigi.
And how some people, a lot of people who know me know that this is my way of talking. It doesn't mean any adverse thing on my side, but
andi no sa anda kam an wa for because musibe ambe e ko ma be ngandi ko kan wala be ligodami te kala mo ligodami ne sa anda tam because hay si awala ma transfer to mi woni wala ngoni be mi ama he ay to mo nganta ma ko baddo difficult because am principle du ko kono andu be kambe tigi billahi wana no pogik dani because halam ka min sibido hala godi no mi haliri fo konon hala ka jesokta poga na koni mido lobi te tawata mi loba ameda nan mido haba office amen hay godo wa bi mido haba ton wala la godo wala hodi be am.
Well, I am somebody, this is part of my nature. The way I speak, the more I speak, the more my voice rises. Because even the office where I work, if somebody is transferred there, what they usually tell the person is that, here you've gone to a difficult place. But those people who know me very well, they know that this is the way how I speak. Because even if they know, even if that is the case, I've never even fought with anybody. It's just my nature.
And the minjata Morocco, Minanjade, Ben Benganakam, after Dumbe, Kononia Minje, Bengari become Minan Nomin Bira and Nikulia, having Tairimani when I go to.
And when we were going to Morocco, I went to Morocco with some people. But when we came back, what they told me was that, well, we were, the information we got about you is quite different. We didn't see the way that you were portrayed.
Boss, I mean, Sadi, Humbo Andy, first time me Aridon, Hamako Humbo Mugami Arani, no me fogging on it money when I go to Lahi, Gandulum tiki. Mean when I'm in the fit now, when I know Pogida no Mihale, Kono, Naran Mine no Mihalikani, Koni Alawa will come. I mean Mido Andy, Dumko witness, Dumnataki Fera, I Nakam de Bihul. This is Bilahi, when I tiki when you mean.
This is my nature, it is not part of being somebody. It is the way I speak, it is the way I talk. Even my boss, after being with him, then he told me one day, well, the way you were portrayed to me turned out to be a different person. It is my nature, it is the way I speak, it is the way I do things, but it is not, it doesn't mean that I am somebody who is a troublesome person.
I luas away and Galambe Hebelungandi. So daba sudu adumani Bengala America cham demi dabato sudu nemi koto chami when Kodumbo Vieta Kamni. I keda Lamengal Hebengandi. So I'm Bera Hebengandi.
Even in my compound, if somebody is, those who live in my compound, even if you ask them, that's what they will tell you. I'm somebody who is not a troublesome person, but the way I speak is my nature. I'm just like this. It is how Allah created me. But I'm not a person who likes to offend people. I don't like telling lies, and I'm somebody who always want to be straightforward. Soap cannot wash itself clean, but people who know me know what I'm talking about. And those who know where I come from, they also know.
Thank you, Mr. Cham. But with all due respect to you, we say actions speak louder than words.
Ajarama, Mr. Cham, kono neto no wadi da piji, kono ni yimbe ben nangiritama.
And the commission can only assert your behavior from what we've seen over the past 2 days.
So, commission o kobe yi no wadirta ni wala no hollirda horema di balde didi konon be wawata ma nangirde.
According to you, you have been adequately trained.
No wirda ni be janginima ko foti.
The purpose of training people and of educating them
dalila ko be janginta yimbe ko tobbe be walla ma kala be holla ma fereje ligeden
is to bring about positive behavior change on their part.
Ko dalila makko ko lumoni pour be sansa joma o wona yim neddo mo anduda mo yaada e lawol o yaada e piiji no yimbe be yidiri ni e golle den no yidiri ni.
I hope that the experience here
misiku awa ko yalti doko
will lead to you taking positive steps
walla mapur ankala joni banga lawol mo anduda no serti no hollirda hore madi
to change your behavior.
pour sansa no wadirta ni.
We would also like to offer you the services of the psychosocial department of the TRRC.
TRRC no marido liggotobe manduda be walla yimbe ngon sengo pour lobre pour be jippina lobre ma membawa ma okude ballal e ngon sengo kala
to help you in managing your anger.
Pour be walla ma no wawata muinde e dow lobre ma sa lobi.
Okay, thank you.
Jarama.
Jarama job mi no ma nyaagi anne kadi pungo ka kam dua pour dum don.
I thank you very much, madam, and I'm also appealing to you to pray for me so that that will happen to me.
It is extraordinary that you said you never fought anybody.
Yes.
Yet you had a reservoir of aggression that you took out on victims. You're capable of beating somebody under your control, but not able to fight somebody of your stature and age, perhaps.
Wairi wida ameda habde goddo kono non a heɓi ɓernde mo annduɗa wawa wadde a lippat goɗɗo a lippat neɗɗo ko muusi kono non wayri wiiɗa a meeɗa habde goɗɗo a ɗum noon no jakini ko ɗum waɗi ha miɗo haala ɗum.
Commissioner Samba, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Samba kala farama lamdude.
Thank you very much, Chairman.
Jarama, Chairman.
Ntelafte nyinen kala ku kilinna la Mr. Cham.
Hunde wotere mi falama lamdude Mr. Cham. I want to ask you one thing, Mr. Cham.
Sede kilinna ta janne.
One witness came here.
Ako alla NIA.
He said at the NIA,
Alkadena no sacrifice.
They bring babies there for sacrifice.
Atakita sedo la sinyafula.
And the person said he witnessed this thing twice.
Yedena no ke karton kono.
A baby was placed in a carton.
Ya siliana ti ya diatela kai kwa mutanye janghani na bosena.
And you put this baby in a carton and you sealed it and brought it to him and tell him to keep it until your boss comes.
Ya ke sinya killing.
You did it once.
Yake sinya fula.
You did it on the second time.
Fulanjango atefana ya jibe ako kilindo wakama manun karton kono bari fulanjango manna maman karton kono.
He said after these babies were brought, he checked. The first one was alive because the baby was moving inside the carton, but the second one doesn't even move.
So leftale auto sene andi moleba because I have janda dunia be ya moy.
Because I want you to clear that portion. Because this witness said it here and the whole world heard this.
Said ko peno o halta gonga.
That witness, what I can say about the witness is a liar, and that witness was not telling the truth. That was not true.
Minemi hange ha tawata bit tukalel jibinangel boyani nadon ada purwago sa tawata mine office of do mi tawa alamo njami ngi mi ndara nam dum so namako.
Well, I am not mad to handle babies like that, saying that to put a baby in a carton just as he stated, and there was nobody whom I ever told to look after a baby for me if it was not for him. And if you look at that, it cannot be true. And in fact, those babies, where am I going to get them from? It is not true. And if had it happened, yes, I will say here that it's true, it happened. But it was not true, it was a lie. That person doesn't tell the truth.
ite fe woto ite sobite songa kadum ko mamo foy
no interpreter o wi every time go we amin wadum play wadum tire
if it is let them play the video
then did abango
flanjaw
ani la felo mum pura because ate sound la ko
mari di don fo na di gonga la bi di don fo na gonga
ko sinya flo be man ke tonyati
okay lafte dani la men na fana flanjaw
what I also want to appeal to you for secondly
as far as isonta ko yeli parokele
as far as you agreed that you have hit people
and you mo jamale tocho
and you have tortured many people
and you will tocho yela fenko nyantole tinya
and you have abused those people's rights
ngamira inyantale pour ka woldani
I think you should appeal to those people so that they can forgive you. But the way you are appealing for forgiveness, I don't think that's the right way to do it. Anything has a way how to say it. When saying it, you say that true, what I have done is not correct. And you take it deep from your heart to say that what I did is not correct. So I'm appealing to you people to forgive me.
Truth and reconciliation.
And I think sometimes as far they said truth, reconciliation and reparations, maybe some people will forgive you. And I think the way you are talking, just saying that forgive me, and you didn't take it deep from your heart, some of them, I think, will not forgive you.
So this
is what I can advise you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I've
heard what he said. The apologies I made here, I took it deep from my heart. And it is something which is in my mind. It is something really which I took from my heart. It is from my heart. I appeal to them and I'm begging them for that. Yes.
Commissioner Carr, and followed by Commissioner Kinte and Bishop on my right, and then I'll turn to the commissioners on the left. Commissioner Carr, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. And thank you, Mr. Cham, for coming to testify before this commission. My first question to you is, you call torture prim param. Do you have other names for torture at the NIA? What other names did you use for torture?
Landi am following ko do awi torture ko do what bene prim param. Da sayoti prim param ko lapu ko sifa hon ngad woni ton ka NIA nafito.
Do ko pular me hali ko pular.
I spoke this in Fula.
Okay, thank you. The second is, we've had witnesses who came here and told us you had torture instruments at the NIA.
Hibido said be anda da wanda be arido be onon NIA ton hidon jobi joranji di anda da wanda ko innafitor don sidon wadde be de bade yimbe ben.
And the chairman asked you about the torture methods you used at the institution.
Kiamano duwoni hore jonde den o landike wado duwoni vereji sifaji hon dum wada ton yimbe ben sidon bittina be de bitta sifa.
So logically, it would just be that some of these torture methods went with, went with certain instruments. What were some of these instruments that were used to torture people?
Idum ko woni ko ton odo sa min badi dum do list ha pari pour konti golli ko dum like machine courant.
There are things that we wrote on a list, things like the electrocution machine.
Yeah, we were handcuffs.
And handcuffs.
They don't. After when they don't ban the
And that bed that was in a room there.
Her logic.
And sticks.
We've heard about the talk-through machine. Do you know anything about that?
That's the machine I'm talking about. It is the electrocution machine.
Okay. And the third question, or the fourth question is on, because we've also received testimony that there were some civilians within the population who were used as spies for the NIA. People within the civilian population.
Yes.
Teachers.
Yes. That's true.
Even people at the market.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
In KBIN, as a commissioner, we can recruit you to combat on further.
Even you, as a commissioner, we can recruit you so that we'll know what is taking place at the commission here. It's true. Yes, it's true.
Okay, thank you. Those were my questions.
You can try it. I don't think you would succeed. Commissioner Kinte, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Kinte OMAR Elanda Goljoni.
Mr. Cham, yesterday,
Mr. Cham, Hangi.
In the beginning you said you overheard the tortures of Silaba Samade.
We do Hangi Wandama Silaba Samade Mete Bitako Hebiton Nanda Vida Ananino Dundong.
Of course, later you yielded to the interrogation of the lead counsel by admitting that you saw it.
Gila landa ngol jaba ngol drugi hakuna ma e council jabuda vida wonda ma e ayi wat mo be lapay mom.
But in a clandestine manner.
Kono no yiruda dum don hari labani makade.
According to you, you peeped and saw Silaba.
Vida wonda ma yehono to yurni da.
That was not Silaba's case.
Sorry, maybe.
Yes.
Balokante.
Please, Balokante. Yes. Sorry, please, for the mistaking of the name. Balokante. And you confess that you saw him being electrocuted. Meaning you have seen the application. What indicated to you that he was being electrocuted while you were peeping?
Because I saw the machine in there.
The machine is an appliance. The application, the machine must have something that is applied to perform the function. How did that look like? The scenario.
The machine has electric cables which will be fixed into a socket.
So I imagine I dum don kawia wan de te anani no net on aluka. So dum kawia kai dum don go dum.
If you see the machine and see somebody shouting or screaming, you will know that the machine is being used on him.
Yes, because you confirmed he has been electrocuted. Who was actually electrocuting Balokante?
Mi ana tigi ko hombade kono mi dandi kay masino omboton kono bedo ne tanango no to benne mi be to ndakton bembe mi no be hanki.
The people I named yesterday were the people inside there, but I don't know exactly which one of them was using the machine on him.
No, let's go further. I think the machine has tools that are placed on the person, on an organ or part of the body.
Now the village, so the feel to socket then what the output in village.
Yes, you see the machine, it has cables which will be placed, which will be plugged into a socket, and there are other cables which they will use to electrocute the person.
No, as output.
It has an output where...
But someone must control the output, otherwise it will be lying on the floor or idling somewhere.
No filo jiding say the posa makasoke to hidi jogi kinal kayal to the doko jogete ko dinganda na kongal kinal tonka jogi ko donga be posa daga bandu nedongo.
Mi andi kono la mi no mi yiri ni bati mi hudum don ni no mi yogni ni mi hudum don ni kono wana andi no mi nak ko hudum senga kono mi andi ka dum wala he block he.
Well, what I saw when I peeped inside was the machine. I saw the machine.
No, bogi dia itu di kapito di pemi hede mako kono nako di kapa he mako nako di kapa dum no kita anu te tanari joni ko mi boyandon ko mi are ko mi do humpa.
And at that time, I haven't spent a long time there when this incident happened. I saw the cables which went towards the victim, but I didn't see how it was fixed on him.
Who was immediately next to the victim during that period?
If I can remember, they put him in the middle, and they surrounded him, the three people whom I named.
Except that if one will be holding the legs, the other the hands, and then the third guy, because you named three people.
And you know, I handcuff.
And he was cuffed. His hands were cuffed. So he will not be able to do anything else.
In that case, why would you need all three people assembling around him? There must be someone applying. We want to know the applicator, the person applying.
Well, that's not clear to me. That's not clear to me who was doing the application.
You know you have sworn to the Quran.
Very well.
Very well.
You don't actually, in any case, you can't determine who was applying the machine on Barlow. Are you truthful?
Very well.
Very well.
Thank you.
Wallahi.
Thank you, Bishop Odiko.
Commissioner Bishop Odiko kadi fala malandare.
Thank you, Chairman.
We ajara makiaman.
Mr. Omar Cham.
We Mr. Omar Cham.
I think in your testimony yesterday,
Msiki de ndarase de agal mangal ye hanki.
You made mention that a medical board made a recommendation on your health condition.
Wida wande wa be da kafu darna no be andana ko nyawndobe be hollirno be yamirno wonde ma pour e cellal mangal no wolirno. Be jonono yamirore.
Can you kindly remind us what the recommendation was?
Nda hida way mandinde yimbe ko hondum yamde yamirore ko be jonnuno e dow cellal mangal ko hondum yamirore hondum be jonnuno.
I think I have a copy of the medical report. Let me try to see it through here, then I read directly from it, if you would allow me. Sitai Jabanaka. Anyway, Kawai hand 14, yeah. Yes, the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare at the Cotton letter reference C12 volume 3B.
They said the letter came from the Ministry of Health and the reference number, that's what he read.
Letter on March 1995.
1995, 14th March was the date on the document.
We were at the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dobson Street, Banjul.
Address to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dobson Street in Banjul.
We were Medical Board, Sergeant 1689 OMAR Cham.
It was, the heading was Medical Board, Sergeant 1689
OMAR Cham,
1689 OMAR Cham, GNA.
And we wanted Medical Board na no group sol numa ono wite bom doctor robe be benanda ma be chubano bendara kule jude Omar Chamde.
Certain doctors were selected to sit and look at the affairs of Omar Cham and about his hands.
Time bongalantama wibenai namonganyo ndeowani duty July balejagom 1994.
Because he was wounded by some thieves on the 6th of July in 1994.
Then we jude makode ngonirini dum o hakata do lim get the joy de olimido.
And the condition of his hands, 5 things were counted.
We wonder no ma mido wono he Saturday Monday he do tawata yijam dam no dum yaltiga no ni ta na boni no bete dum he was severely in shock due to profuse bleeding. Number 1.
The first one was the profuse bleeding. And
number 2, mbikadi wande no mido heavy chopane bonde he jude ame.
And number 2, the second one was that he had serious cuts on his hands.
When jungo nanongo,
they said his left hand.
Dumdo me andadu me pua bembi all na vascular bundle transaction.
Well, that's a medical term with
the deep laceration wound left forearm with online neurovascular bundle transaction. Number 3.
Number 3, that's also with a deep cut was mentioned, plus followed by a medical term.
Number 3, deep one nama ganyande bonde kadi jungo am nyamo he.
And it was also stated that he had a serious wound on his right hand.
Dumwani kadi hondu am do hondu work dumwani duen.
And also his right thumb also had a cut.
Pare kadi duen.
And his palm was also having a cut.
Proximal forearm with injury to ulnar nerve.
And on his hand also, it was said that there was a wound which he sustained on his hand.
Number 1, deep laceration wound of right thumb, right wrist, and proximal forearm with injury to the ulnar nerve.
Well, another medical term, but they said, it was said that his thumb and his hand were also wounded, which were serious.
Nayabo mbika di mido hebi ganyande bonde he do jungo chango nyamo do hebao amhe dumwani den.
And the fourth one also, they said I had a serious wound.
No, dom ko guy, sorry, wana to baoto. Dumwani deep laceration wound, right mastoid occipital region of scalp.
Yes, the wound he sustained on his on the back of his head.
Mindika di mido hebi yuande bande to bao amdo hede jumbo nyamo do hebao he taka yal ambaongal. Dumwani stab wound over dorsal region of left erector spine muscle.
They said he had a deep stab wound, which also was very close to his spine.
Mbi Johnny de ganyande on waktu me matatum do condition amo na wonno wonde na ma mi wawa nangu hunde ko moji jungo am jungo nyamongo buri bande jungo nanango.
And they said in that condition my right hand was seriously disabled, so that I cannot hold something properly.
And we reducing gripping power in both hands. Left hand worse than right hand.
And they said my left hand was worse than my right hand, and I cannot grip things properly.
Didabo bemi wande nama jude amde kode mayat be pare kadi sako he bubol ayat jude de kode de mayat ta de mbata dumaninde dumoni stiffen and frozen hands to cold weather.
And it was also stated that during cold weather my hands will become stiff and frozen, so that their function will be limited.
And his current disability is rated at 50%. And horrible Judah Johnny, ye had a psychoteme de Chapani joy for Yatane Judame.
And it was based on these wounds mentioned, they said his ability has been reduced by 50% to use his hands properly.
I support the recommendation of the members of the board to retire him from service. He should also be compensated for his disability rate at 50%. Signed, Director of Health Services.
And it was said that the Director of Health Services signed saying that he recommends him to be retired because of the disability that has happened to him because of his hands. So and he should be compensated for that.
Medical board report or a horemako, a horemum, you know, and
I also have the report of the medical board itself.
No, this is
that's how
Mr. Chair.
No sensation.
Mr. Chair, with all due respect,
you want to raise a point of order?
Yes, with all due respect, this is very interesting. It suffices that he just puts the report in. This is way before he joined the NIA, and really would not have much of a significant bearing on the proceedings, much as this is interesting. So I suggest that perhaps we just put in the documents so that the commissioners can see it for themselves and evaluate it.
That's right, and if you decide to suggest their inclusion as exhibits, then we can do that as well. But that decision would be yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Bishop, if you want to continue?
Looking at you physically, presently, that report does not seem to, actually describe you in your physical presence as now.
So report o hollirani wonde ma an tigi tigi no wondirɗa ni ka wonɗo no ɓandu ma ɗum no kelɗiri no tiiɗiri ni hollirani ɗum ni joni ni.
Andi report oɗo ko on tuma tebe pare report o kadi ko affaire juuɗe am de kono wona ɓandu am de hoore mum ko affaire juuɗe am de gañande am de.
The report was referring to the time when I was checked, and the report was also referring to my hands, not my whole body.
Te ƴeftugol goɗɗum ɗum tigi hoore mum ko probléme am te pare windugol kadi ayat jungo am de wonanna diwna na ɓosto.
And also to hold something, to grip something strongly, is sometimes a problem for me. And even to write, sometimes you will see my hands shaking.
Thank you. Imam Jallo, you have the floor, followed by Commissioner Kai. You said you had an additional question. We'll come back to you.
Witness, I'm Osede, and koi pular mi halata.
I will speak in fuller. Since when you went into this job,
in their own office,
and all the wrongs you committed in that office, you beat people, you locked up people, you offended people, up to this time, up to some people who did those crimes are still working in that job. Now you, as for you, where are you working right now? At the same place. No. You think that's safe? Because how I saw you, and how you speak, and how you behave, you have not changed. And also, you people there, all of you, people who did these wrong things to people, according to your own thinking, what should have happened to you people? You don't think what's good for you people to leave the job for you and resign from the job by yourselves? What do you think? Yes, you people, you are seeking what you have been mandated to seek for.
Balton recommend.
Now, at the end of the day, at the end of your job, it's left to you people to recommend what you think is better. And I think if somebody did commit a wrong and the person regrets his crimes and now that person comes to apologize, well, it's left for people to look at it. Yes.
Thank you. Imam C, you have the floor.
Greetings to you and thanks for agreeing to come here. Two things I'll ask. The other one is I will advise you. The one I will ask you about is the fuller people who wounded you. Well, how did it end up? Nothing happened about it. And they were not arrested. They were arrested, of course, but what should have happened didn't happen. My second thing is I will advise you. Those people who you've tormented, who you've tortured, what I'm advising you is to seek their forgiveness and you apologize to them. This is what I have to tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Vision, did you want the floor? Sorry.
Witness.
You said witness. He said
Commissioner Samba
Commissioner Samba questioned you about something. Which is about the babies in the cartons. I don't know how you will take that question.
But
the witness who stated it here said Mfali Jabang. Now I want to ask you, Mfali Jabang, whether that person is still working within the security apparatus or where is that person working now? Whether at that time he was working with the security unit, the NIA.
Mfali Jabang bomi andio.
The Mfali Jabang I know.
What
I know is that he is a soldier. He never worked at the NIA.
Military intelligence. And
if I can remember, he was a member of the military intelligence unit. That's where he was working.
Okay, well, I'm left in I am for Ama for OMAR Cham. So wala na ngayon ka from Faldi Jabang be NIA. Pero Mrs. Abdu Kolol to ang fate do ko. The witness so I will for.
The witness named Mfali Jabang, not Omar Cham. This is why I want this point to be clear.
Okay, Abaraka.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you, Commissioner Kai. Your additional question.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chair, the question is in relation to the talk-through machine that you mentioned. Do you know what happened to that machine?
Mr. Cham,
do you know where we can find it?
Kodumoni oya machine ko be wiete ko talk through hala machine hala gonga. Jolulon mi anda on machine ko hono o secretary.
An machine mina gandalam koto store to moptik de to bagase ji koton ono he ko mi andi. So mi anda non nako boto na joni nako ala ton.
Well,
mi anda don.
What I know about that machine is that it was placed in a store where we park our things. Still, I don't know whether it is still there or not. I don't know anything about it now. but at that time, it was placed in the store. Mike.
Which time are you referring to?
Waktu hombo haltani, waktu hombo warno dum ender magazine o.
Nindum lo min do gandalam ko ontuma ko around 2000 or around late 90s 2000 around ontuma because mi dandi wonde no ma si o yusaga ko ton o wanda ko ton woni plasma ko ton o wanda so comme ta gumbi mi ko ton o woni do gandalam.
How the last time I knew anything about this machine was in the late 90s or towards 2000. But after that, I cannot say anything about the machine. I don't know. I don't know.
Where it used to be kept.
And that's the place, the store, that's where it used to be kept.
Thank you. Mr. Chan, before I give you the floor to make final remarks, if you have any, what compensation are you receiving at the moment from the government?
Mr. Cham, okama lawol pour ankala ferma yewtere ma joni kobe futuma okude ballal kobe futuma okude ko hono be wallirtama joni o darnde.
Compensation for what?
Compensation for what?
Pension, disability payments, anything coming from the government.
No wayno pension walla gagnande maden ballal ko be fotima okude do dum kala ko mo anduda lamu nguno ma okude pour din don
mi yoba ka pensions ko salaries mi yobete te be pare affaire compensation injuries am di do dum wala no ma gila 1995 be ngokuno kam ujuna japan ina hetati e temen e joy e no gas joy
as of now I'm receiving my salary. I have not been pensioned, but since we hit on the humble 1990.
1995.
It was in 1995 that I was compensated. Ujunaji jelu.
Japan enai temen ejo enoga joy.
It was $40,525. That's the amount I was compensated for.
And like other torturers, the 9, 7 or whatever number you confirm that you had tortured, contributing to your salary and other payments coming to you from the government. How do you feel about that?
Joni yimbe manuda ametini dumen ko jedidi walla ko jenay kala ko woni joni fi ben don mi anda hono yirda fi mabbe kambe non darde mabbe no woni
ni dum ko nganantama wadi tebe pare min mi dum nimsi.
Well, that as for that what I can say about that is that it's something that has taken place and I really regret what has taken place, what has happened. And I am appealing to them for forgiveness.
Fine. If you have any final remarks to make, please proceed to do so now.
Joni sita hebi kongol mo anduda afala dum hollirde do walla leydi ndi joni awawa continuade hala dum din halaji
in komi mido yeta kalambo wana
I am extending my greetings to everybody.
Pare mido wolle ga wande ma aduna koko gasata.
Also I would like to mention that everything has an end, especially in this world. And every person, when you die, you go along with your deeds. You don't go with anything else. And the accusations alleged on me, yes, I agreed to them. And also, as far as I was the head of the team, my juniors, whatever wrongs they committed, I take responsibility for it. These are the things that I said happened. And as for the lady who was mentioned, really, truly, I touched her with my hands.
Yeah, because me do man ni wadi farse pour wada make so one day ma o nange.
And I made it a force so that she will be caught.
But
as for the others, it is not that I personally hit them. And if it has been done by my genius, especially in my presence, I take the responsibility. And I am appealing for forgiveness for those things, and I really regret those things. And I'm appealing to them to forgive me on those things. But for Silaba Samate, Jesus,
Jibril
Waka, I will never forgive them. Because the accusations they leveled against me were all false. And all that they said about me, I take it and I place it before Allah. And I'm appealing to anybody, people who like me and who like them too. And let them all pray so that Allah will decide Allah will judge between me and them. Because they come to me serious. Because they leveled serious accusations against me. And it is not true. Allah knows that it is not true, and they themselves know that it is not true. And the others who accused me, those I personally hit and those I didn't hit, as for them, I'm appealing to them to forgive me.
Because at the end of
yes, this is what I can say, because I know that there is a day when everybody will go to the hereafter. And at that time, everybody will face your deeds.
So, you know me, Hal?
This is what I wanted to say. I'm thanking everybody. And I'm still appealing to these people to forgive me. Yes.
I hope there wouldn't be any torturers in Al-Akhirah. We see what happens. We thank you very much indeed, Mr. Cham, for coming to...
Mr. Cham, ajabi pour aragol do oka sede agalma.
Mr. Chair. And there wouldn't be any, there wasn't any parang here at TRRC. But we thank you again for coming to testify before the Commission.
There were no scruples and torturing at the TRRC here. Thanks for coming anyway.
Thank you.
We have a
thank you very much.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, I need to put in the exhibits.
Yes.
The first one should be Exhibit 189. That is the report on the investigation into the shooting incident which resulted in the death of Mr. Deda Haidara, editor-in-chief and co-proprietor of the Point newspaper. It's a report dated 29 April 2005. That should be Exhibit 189.
189.
And then the report submitted to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. This is a report on additional investigation report into the activities of the former IGP Ensa Baji, dated 7 May 2010, conveyed under letter dated 13 May 2010. That should be Exhibit 189A. And the response from Jame indicating his dissatisfaction with some of the findings would be Exhibit 189B, and the report on Gambia, the country report on human rights practices for 2001 should be Exhibit 189C.
The author for the last one, is that the State Department?
State Department, U.S. State Department report, yes.
Thank you very much, Council. Your request granted.
Thank you.
And we will take a lunch break and come back at 2:30. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.